Nice to meet you, sir. No problem. Katie's going to fix this for you. She'll get you to sign this affidavit. The only thing, and I understand you feel like that's something that should be signed on this document, but the state of Florida generally doesn't look for anything like that. Of course, this document will be okay to use for that. If they come back and if they say anything about it, I just want you to know in the future, that's nothing that they typically want to see. I don't know what statute or what policy or whatever you were looking at a rule.
You should look it up. It's a UCC 1-308.
Well, that's fine. I don't doubt that it exists. But what I deal with every day is I
understand what you deal with every day.
Yeah, I deal with these things.
The thing is, that's the only thing.
No, sir. The thing is this: it's not my interpretation, and it's not your interpretation. It's what this department says that you and I have to go by. Doesn't matter how I feel about it or you feel about it. They say we need these things, and you and I both, and anybody else, we're required to give those. If you don't want to drive, or you don't want a title, or you don't want a tag, then you don't have to buy one. But those are the conditions for it.
Well, see, the thing is, can we?
And that's the same thing for me. It's
Well,
the same. It applies to me as much as it applies to you.
Well, I
or
understand
anybody
that we all have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
I'm not privileged in any way.
I understand that, but the thing is that's the only legal way I can write a signature on a contract of any kind to retain my rights.
Well, whatever you want to do, I'm just telling you that this is a form that we fill out because they do not like, the state does not like anything in this area.
I honestly,
and that's fine.
see, the state works for me. I don't work for the state. Okay,
and that's fine. And if I feel like it's my responsibility to say to you, hey, I know I don't have a problem with that. I know you're that person. It's not a problem of any.
What person is that?
Well, whatever this name is, I believe you're that person. We're identifying you here, and that name, you have the credentials for it. So you're signing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other information that's there, if you feel like it's got to be on there, that's fine. If it comes
It's got to
back,
be on anything I sign.
okay, that's fine. If there is any trouble with the state, then this will become null and void, and you'll have to do whatever they say to do to make it right. I'm just going ahead and let you know. I'm going to process it. I'm going to send it through. If they pick it up and they say, we don't like that, it's not admissible, it's not acceptable, then they may come back and send you a letter and say, this title is not valid. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Technically, it's not a title. It's a copy of a title.
Right. Well, anyway, this is what we need to deal with them. So if you see something like that, I'm just saying you may. I'm not saying you are. It's a guarantee. But if it's picked up, I'm just letting you know. That's all. And if that's the way you want to do it, then I'll send it.
Yeah, because I came in yesterday, man. Because my main concern is because I'm not a driver. I'm not driving, and I don't own a motor vehicle. All right. For me to claim that I am, that's me committing perjury or lying, and that's against the law. And I want to follow the law.
Right.
All right.
Well,
the law
and
says that
I
I cannot commit perjury.
There
I
again,
cannot sit there and
Dude, I understand.
I'm actually a traveler. I'm not a driver.
Right. There's a lot of things.
So I'm
Me and
actually
you
being
both.
forced into claiming that I'm a driver, which that's lying.
There again, I go back to the same thing I said before. If you want to drive, if
I'm
I
not
want to
driving.
drive,
I don't want to drive. I want to travel.
But if I want a license, or if I want a
I don't want a license. I have to do this because I'm doing it at gunpoint.
Well, if I'm legally going to be on the road operating a vehicle and not get a ticket,
I see. That's the thing. You're
Then I'm
you're
gonna do
using
that.
certain words. Operating a motor vehicle, which I'm not. I'm actually I'm transporting me and my private
tell you what,
property.
buddy, it ain't no problem for me.
I'm just saying.
You gotta, if
this
you
is
have
what
these
lawyers.
things, if you have these things,
This is what lawyers and judges use. Is those words.
That's fine. But you know what? You can go see the lawyer and you can go
No,
see
I don't
the
wanna
judge.
see it. I'm just
and then
saying.
you can go to jail if you don't pay your ticket. But to get a title and to get what they say, and you and me both got to do the same thing. Whether your
unless you
want to,
exercise your rights.
I tell you what, you're right. I could, but I'd just soon go ahead and take care of what I need to do.
Of course,
You know,
of course.
You know, and if you don't want to, and you don't want a
Well, see,
title,
that's the
or
thing.
you don't want a tag, or you don't want a driver's license,
Technically,
then
I
do it.
don't.
Then don't
but
do it.
but
I mean, that's
I
cool.
have to because honestly, man, I'll get threatened or physically harmed by police
I hope you don't
officers.
get threatened or physically harmed.
Well, no, that's exactly what's going to happen if they don't see a tag on that thing.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to tell you and share with you that
I'm perfectly aware of
if you're
it.
going to be, if you're going to have one of these opportunities, if you're going to come in and get a title and get a vehicle tag, then you're going to have to submit.
I'm technically being forced into
what
it.
the state says to do.
Yeah, I'm technically
So
being
it-
forced into it. But see, the thing is, the state works for us. We don't work for the state.
I understand that. And I understand that I work, and I am, my boss here in this county are the citizens of Holmes County.
Mm-hmm.
Because every 4 years, I have to renew my contract. I have to step before them and I have to say, please allow me to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying. The state is not an entity itself.
No, it's a
company.
legal fiction.
Yeah, it's all of us together. But there are entities out there that rules have been made in majority, whether you agree with the majority or not.
It's not that I agree. I'm just trying to follow the law. The law is the supreme law of the land, and that's what I'm trying to follow.
And that existence is what we all abide by in a democracy, whether we agree.
We're not in a democracy. This country is a constitutional republic, and that's what it was founded, and that's where it's going to stay.
Well,
It's not a
tell you what,
democracy.
until there's enough people to vote it out a different
Well,
way.
see, that's the thing.
That's
Democracy means mob rule.
fine. But, it's okay. If any of these things that you're in here today, you don't want to provide the documentation for them, it's cool.
Hey, I provided everything.
Yeah, so that's cool, that's fine. It's just.
I got everything sitting right here.
But I encourage you to speak in your detail and your information and how you feel about the wording and the perjury. I encourage you to talk to Tallahassee Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles and share with them
Well,
that you should or they should consider a different verbiage. And,
no, they're doing it just fine because they're doing it for revenue. That's all they're doing it for because those using the word driver, driving, and motor vehicle, that's under commerce. It's under commerce. That gives them jurisdiction over us if we use it for commerce. I'm not using my automobile for commerce. I am using it for transporting and conveying me and my private property in the daily life and pursuit of happiness and
but they got
liberty.
But I
The
get it.
thing
And I
is-
do the same thing. I'm not driving around selling anything either.
Well, see, that's the thing. I understand that. See, that's the thing. We all have the right in the Constitution to travel on these roads because our ancestors already paid for these roads. Okay? The only people that are supposed to, that's the reason why these tags and these driver's licenses even came in the first place, is for state and federal employees and commercial drivers because they need a privilege to drive on the roads that we own. Okay? The people, see, they considered it a revenue source. That's why they switched it over to making everybody and convince everybody that we're drivers. See, I've been hoodwinked. I've been lied to, and that's the
I agree with
thing.
you that it is a cash cow. I agree with you.
Yeah, you guys make millions of dollars in here every day out of our pockets.
In a very small rural county. It's
Or at
amazing
least
how
every
much
year
money-
anyway.
Yeah, it's amazing how much money comes
I
from
know.
a small rural county.
Yeah,
You go to
it's
a big
revenue.
county, it's huge revenue.
Yeah, I know.
I agree.
Yeah, but you're making everybody commit fraud by making them believe that they're drivers.
And
When
you
they're
know
not.
what? If that.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to
me and
do.
for
I'm
you-
trying to retain my rights by using that.
Well, for me and you, that's fine. I'm not saying that you're going to have any issues with this title.
Yeah.
I'm saying that they normally don't want any type of.
I know they
knowledge
normally don't
But
because they don't want us to sit there and
But I'm not
actually
worried
exercise
about
our
it.
rights.
I know what UCC 308, I mean, I understand what you're referencing
Right.
there as your rights to cover yourself, and I'm
Yes.
fine with that. I'm just telling you, look, man.
Most people don't. That's the reason why it's not used. That's
Yeah.
why most people just could just go ahead and pay the extortion fee.
Right, and I'm just, and
And I mean, honestly, that's what I'm doing now is paying my extortion fee because I have no choice because the cops will threaten me or if not kill me if I ain't got a right tag
Well,
on.
I
It's like,
hope that doesn't
no,
happen
in
to you
this
or
day and
anybody
age,
else,
this
but
day and age.
Anyway, go ahead and process it.
Yeah,
You do want to get this, is that right, sir?
Yes, I need to process. I need to switch. See, what I'm doing is I'm switching this tag over to that vehicle
Yes,
or
sir.
that automobile.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also I need to actually update that sucker too,
Okay, you need a decal on it. Yeah, okay. All right, sir. Yes, sir, we'll do that. And
because that's
like I
the tag off my other car.
Yep, she'll look for it and she'll trace them down and she'll get you arranged there. And appreciate your
Yeah, I
patience
came in
with us.
yesterday. I had to talk to her.
Good, okay. Well, and I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
I'm
convince
not
you
trying to
either way.
argue with you either.
I'm trying to give you a heads up because people say, well,
Well, I understand because I
you could get a
understand
letter.
because it's the thing is this state.
Yeah.
They don't want us exercising our rights. They want us to give them up and sell it back to us as in a form of a privilege.
it's money. You're right.
I
agree with you
understand
there.
that.
I get it.
And that's the thing. And if that's not what this country was founded on.
Oh no. I know we've in a lot of different areas and a lot of different topics.
And I'm trying to change people's minds one person at a time.
And we have changed, and
Well,
things
we need to
have
change back
gone.
to the Constitution because honestly, we're veering very far away from it. We're going into
Yeah.
communism, actually, if you want to know the truth.
It's a scary thing.
Yes,
You
it
need
is.
him to sign that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get you to sign the date there, okay?
Okay.
Okay, then, this was Jesse. Okay, they had said to charge on the gap, so either you can,
you have
if she wants to come
a
back in, and we
driver's
can redo the
Mm-hmm.
paper today. Okay,
Yes, I have entered into that contract.
because it's right here.
If I get that, so I can
Right.
add your name to this title.
If she wants to come right back in here, we'll do that because we were just on the phone with him and he said that.
Well, you can't read it?
So, we'll redo it, just cancel everything here. And then well, I mean, we can
board it.
yeah. Well, I mean, if she wants to fix that, that's what we need to do. And that's only because we can let her know.
Never come across this before, huh?
No,
Do you know anything about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights?
a little bit. Sounds like you know a little bit more than me.
Everybody should know them. If you don't know your rights, you won't know if they're being taken away from you. I mean, there's a lot of them in there. At least the first 10 is the most important.
Well, it's nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, nice to
I
meet you,
appreciate,
too.
I appreciate your, I sure appreciate your opinion, and I understand what you're trying to tell me and share with me.
Yeah.
And I had some other people, not exactly the same thing, but I've heard some other people share with me.
Well, see, the thing is I came in yesterday because, like I said, I don't want to commit fraud,
Yeah.
and that's illegal, and
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
follow the law. So,
yeah.
I came in really to see if there's any way I can get an exempt tag or something like that issued, because I want to put a legal tag on that sucker and shows and indicates to police officers that I'm not a driver and I'm a traveler. And the thing is, when I'm a traveler, we all have this God-given right. I'm not required to put a tag or a license or any of the insurance or anything on it. But the thing is, if I leave it empty or I put my own tag on there, I'm risking my health by a police officer pulling me over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for the
All right, if I
an
did the same
official
thing, I
way.
understand what you're saying. If I did the same thing, he'd be pulling me over.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The thing is that's why I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That's why I'm actually, I'm forced into this because otherwise I'll be physically harmed.
Well, I hope it wouldn't go that far, but I understand your point.
Have you seen today?
I understand your point. I do. I understand.
It's not like when we were kids, man. It's
I know.
definitely not like when we were kids.
Right.
I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, man, we can have a shotgun or a rifle in the back window of our truck and leave it in the parking lot of the school, and it doesn't just jump out of the car and shoot people. The thing is it's just not the same today.
And my wife, I understand. My wife.
I mean,
my wife's a guidance.
I don't know anybody that doesn't have their heart rate go up a little when they get pulled over.
Yeah.
Because that could be the end of their life.
Yeah. And I know, just like everything in this world, there are good people in every position, in every call of life. Mm-hmm. And I believe that the law enforcement has those good people, but there are also some negative and bad influences.
The only thing about that is,
But that isn't it.
they're good people, but when a lot of them or most of them put that uniform on, they change. Because I haven't seen any good cops arresting bad cops yet, so it makes me wonder if there's any good cops. You understand what I'm saying? Because honestly, man, there's a lot of bad cops. Hell, we have one just not too long ago over in, was it the other county over, where he was sitting there planting drugs on people?
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson County.
But I believe,
I mean, seriously.
I saw on the news where he was arrested by good cops.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's down in prison.
Yeah. Well,
He's not convicted.
I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be. Just given time. And I'm sure they're taking it slow because they don't want anything.
And that's just one instance, and that's local.
Involved with is going to be subject to.
This is all over the country. This happens to be one instance local
Oh, yeah.
recently.
I realize it's-
What you need from me?
Did you want the title electronic mailed, or did you want to pay additional $10 and get it today?
I'll get it mailed. It'll be fine. How much is this all going to cost me today anyway?
The title transfer is $78.25, and then this license plate
Now, does she
transfer will be
have
about another
everything with her?
$5.
Does she have her tag and everything on there?
About $88, $90.
Okay, here's the deal. If you're more than
And then
that,
we'll
if she
have to
gets
pay to
fired,
renew.
So 88 plus
Now,
that.
she can get the money, there's no doubt about it, she can get
You
the
need
money
me to
back. if she does-
void it out.
Hmm?
She can get the money back.
If we do it and then it's too much, I can void it out.
We've got to,
She said she'd rather us board it than have having to do all the
Okay, and
paperwork.
this is.
okay, but she understands that not being in here and voting that property, you know, she doesn't have, that tag that's on there is not assigned to her.
She's driving it right now.
I hope you're listening to this because honestly, man, you should do some research on the Constitution. You should know these things,
Show them all this paper.
even though you're a state worker.
I got my.
Is this a van, a truck?
It's a van.
A van?
You know, it looks like she has placed a tag on a vehicle that's not attached to
She
it.
said, yes, it has a plate that says tag, has been applied for.
Leave that on there, do not put the plate we gave her on there yet. Wait until she completes it. Okay, thank you. I just don't want her to get stopped and then they run it.
Not the tag over here.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
Thank you, sir, it's good to meet you.
Good to meet you too, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you, I know it's Chipley, you live in the Chipley area?
Well, around here, yeah.
Yeah, around here, good deal, good deal. All right, sir, good deal. Well, I hope everything's going right and life's good. and-
Everything could be worse.
Yeah, well, that's a good way, I mean, your outlook on it, yeah.
Yes, it could be worse.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, like I said, I mean, me, I try to open people's eyes. I can't educate anybody because most people don't want to be educated. So I'm just trying to open people's eyes and remember
Excuse me. Yeah,
that we have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is the supreme law of the land that is higher than any statute, any code, any policy. So I don't want to give up those things.
right.
And the reason is the more I've been doing my research on the law, and the more I've been doing my research on the Constitution, like I said, they're forcing us to sell. I mean, or at least give away our God-given right. We don't need permission to do, and sell it back to us
For a dollar.
for a privilege, which comes with stipulations, punishments, and all this other good stuff.
Yeah.
When we don't need the permission. See, we're not a free people if we got to ask permission.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, because today it's really not home of the free and land of the free, home of the brave. It's actually a home of the free and land of the slave. I mean, for real. Because honestly, we're in monetary slavery. And if the UN gets any further into it, yes, we're going to be even further into it because they're already starting it.
I get where you're coming from, and there's a lot
The
of,
thing is, people need to pay attention and actually know their rights. If they don't know their rights, they're not going to know what is being taken away.
well, and history's not being taught like it used to be, like you said.
It never was.
You know,
It's taught by the victors. You know, the history is always taught by the victors.
right.
You don't see losers of the battles writing history, do you?
No, no.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
It's only by the victors.
And it changes too, depends on who comes in charge, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. History doesn't change, it's written.
Yeah, yeah. Just depends
But
on
you
who's, what they're telling you.
If you can just sign right there.
Good to meet you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Take care, yes, sir. Hey, how you doing?
That'll be your selfie.
I'll go for further.